Good evening and welcome to another installment of the New York Minute Sports Show. The Yankees win 6-1 in the Bronx against the Beantown Bums. It's New York Minute Sports. It's New York sports for New York nuts. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's go! Well, there you have it, folks. Welcome to another installment of the New York Minute Sports Show. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Now, hey, let's be honest. We're in the trust tree here at New York Minute Sports. Were you worried before the eighth inning happened? Were you saying, same old Yankees, no life on offense, we got good pitching, and that's it? But the New York Yankees today woke up in the eighth inning, and they wound up winning tonight's game 6-1 with 5 runs in the eighth inning, and all of them were on 2 outs. Now, the guy that I got to give props to, I know Belly got the party started, but we always rely on him. One of the biggest things that you can take from today's game is Jazz Chisholm. Struck out 3 times. 4th time is a charm in the 8th inning, sends a moonshot over the fence. And the reason that's important is because Jazz is going to have to step up on this team. We've been busting his balls all season long about the whole 50-50 quote. And in a way, he has hit 50 home runs this year. Today was his 50th career home run of all time as a Yankee. So maybe he just had his verbiage off, but you can get the Jazz 50-50 raffle shirt at the New York Nuts merch store. But what I'm saying about Jazz is he would get hot, he'd cool down. Get hot, cool down. Ever since he's got Big G's pants, it seems like he's been on a steady incline. The average is inclined. He's 3rd on the team in hits. And it seems like he's slowly, and yes, even for Jazz, quietly turning his season around. Now, if he starts getting hot right now, that would be indispensable for the New York Yankees because, hey, listen, it's a streaky game, right? Bullpens come and go, and you can see the New York Yankees bullpen is doing lights out right now. I'll get to them. But people are streaky. Jazz has not been red hot all season long. It would be great timing right now on June 7th for him to have his hottest home run streak of the year, and Jazz looks primed to put some power behind those singles, and that's exactly what the New York Yankees need. Now, I don't want to jump the gun on this, but I heard some boo birds in the stadium tonight with Anthony Volpe. People are already starting to boom because, hey, it was roses and sunshine in the Mets series, and he started back red hot when he got back from AAA. But what are we starting to see from Anthony Volpe? We're starting to see the throwing mistakes. We're starting to see the freeze in action mistakes. He's got a noodle arm. That's why I think he's the future second baseman of this team when they don't re-sign Jazz. But I cannot stand when you got a guy like Caballero, when you got a Porsche in the garage with that cannon of arm that he has, not playing him at shortstop. Now, it looks like the Yankees are going to give Caballero a lot of time in right field. And if you've noticed, when he's played right field, he's been lights out. A lot of energy out there, quick, and he's got an absolute cannon. But this is Volpe's MO, it seems like, dude. He puts it together for a little bit, and then he regresses. Now, the one thing I will give Volpe credit is he has been working a lot more walks. Listen, if you're not going to hit, get on base by any means necessary so you can steal some bags. Because, listen, before this 8th inning happened, let's talk about what really happened today. The Yankees were playing one of the worst offensive teams in Major League Baseball, and they were tied after 8 innings because they weren't manufacturing runs. Think back to the 4th inning with the bases juiced. Anthony Volpe comes out with 2 outs. The Yankees need to stop doing all their damage with 2 outs. Have you noticed that all season long? It's been a reoccurring theme. With 2 outs, they get something going. How about we get something going with no outs or 1 out maybe? So Volpe comes out, bases juiced, 4th inning on 3 straight singles. Anthony Volpe pops out. You need to be able to manufacture runs there. Stealing bags does you no good for your team if you're not on base. Volpe, Caballero, and Jazz Chisholm need to be getting on base because that's the way that you're going to make up for Aaron Judge's production. You're not going to be able to cover it all, obviously, the power numbers and all that, but you can make up for it in different areas. Manufacture runs, speed, and athleticism. And that's actually what the New York Yankees have in their back pocket, which they haven't had in years past. Also, let's give Goldie a day off. I know he's got 2 hits and an RBI later in the game after 4 at-bats. But listen, man, we can't go to the well too much with him. I know the Yankees are injured, but we're going to be able to think of ways to get him off his feet. Listen, Rosario can play for first base. He can play third base. He got a hit late in the game. I love him as a spark plug. Also, that's another guy you can't go to the well with too much. But let's keep an eye on Goldie. I don't want him bagging out. He's an older guy. And you know what? I want to keep him the whole season. And that kind of brings me and bridges the gap to Cam Schlittler and the pitching rotation and the staff and the way things are going to go. Today, Cam Schlittler goes 5.5, 4 hits, 1 earned run, one walk, 5 strikeouts, 92 pitches. Decent performance, all right? This is back-to-back mediocre performances by Cam Schlittler. And this isn't a complaint. This is just an observation. He's had 2 mediocre starts. Seems like he hasn't had the control. Seems like he hasn't had the relish on his hot dog, right? Now, is Cam Schlittler hitting a little bit of a wall? This is the most games that he's started at a major league level in his whole life. And just like when rookies in the NBA go from a 31-game season to an 82-game season, that's a big jump, and you need to be able to learn how to do that. Cam Schlittler is still young. He still has not pitched a full season of baseball yet. So I would like the Yankees to keep an eye on that also because they're going to have to rest their horses, guys. Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, Garrett Cole, they're not spring chickens, and they're going to have to stretch these guys out. They're going to have to let Cam Schlittler get to the end of the season without running his gas tank out because this will be his first professional season. Not complaining. Even his bad games, let's put an air quote on that. Even a bad game like tonight, he was still super effective. He was still really good. And you know what? But I'm noticing a little bit, he's not as sharp as he was. So that's 2 back-to-back, and you got to keep an eye on that. Because what kind of haunts me is the fact of Max Fried and Carlos Rodon of last year. They threw the team on their back, and what happened in the postseason? The Yankees' starting pitching was one of the weakest aspects of the whole team, and it was Max Fried and Carlos Rodon with their name all over it. I don't know if it's pressure in the playoffs or they ran out of gas. I think they ran out of gas. Max Fried had the blister issue. He started the All-Star game. Carlos Rodon has scrambled eggs for brain and chips in his elbow, and he's like Pyle from Full Metal Jacket, Farver from Super Troopers, and he gasses out in the 4th inning because he's like JoJo the Indian Circus Boy with a pretty new pet. So there could be some variables to this situation. But I don't want to say like Yankees have the division won. I'm not saying any of that. But let's face facts. Look at the rest of the division. Look at the rest of the American League. Unless this severely turns around quickly, it looks like the rest of the American League is dog shit. The Yankees are definitely going to make the postseason. Even if the rest of the American League was good, the Yankees are going to make the postseason. The injury report, guys, this is a very, very serious injury report. Austin Wells, 10-day injured list with cervical headaches. I thought that was just what I get when I watch him play, but Austin Wells has cervical headaches and will be on the 10-day injured list. That's why the meme of Grandpa Simpson coming in and walking out of the brothel is going around, because you got to remember, Ascara got sent down. Wells got hurt. They just switched. They're like, all right, Ascar. They sent him down, brought him right back up. So Austin Wells, and you know what? Has he been playing with this all year long? I'd like to know. Hopefully in the postgame show, Boone can answer that. And also, he gets beat up all the time. I can think there's twice a game at least. He gets a comebacker in the mask. He gets one in the thigh. You know how it is being a catcher. I don't know what it is. The ball seeks out Austin Wells more so than any other guy I've seen catch. I don't know if it's his positioning back there. I don't know if he's not setting up or framing the ball correctly, but he gets beat up by foul tips all the time, and it's finally starting to catch up with him. I mean, I'm going to date myself here, but just remember Richter from the New York Rangers. He had concussion issues, and that ended his career early. And everyone's like, how do you have concussions? Because people crashing into the net, pucks off the head. And now guys are throwing harder than they've ever thrown before. You get a 101-mile-an-hour fastball on a foul tip that excels it, bro, right in the face, you're going to have some issues. In cervical, I mean, that means a spine issue. So maybe he has some, I don't know, hopefully he doesn't lead to spinal stenosis like right. So hopefully say a little prayer for Wells. No one deserves to be hurt no matter how bad they play. But I don't think it's a blow to the Yankees. Also, let's put the tinfoil hat on for a second here. Are they making something? I'm not going to say they're making it up. Maybe he's like, oh man, I got a headache today. They're like, oh, you got a headache? All right, 10 days, you got a cervical headache, because they needed to rest him. He's been lost at the plate. He needs days off. I don't know what the bring up, bring down scenario is, because they brought up another reliever when Wells came down. So they added a guy to the bullpen and brought back up Escara, and Wells goes on the injured list. So I think they're doing a little funny math there. But reports on Stanton's injury today, he's on a running program, so you know what that means. He's going to be back soon. But the one thing you got to remember about Giancarlo Stanton is when he comes back, he doesn't go down to Tampa. He does not do AAA games. He comes up and he gets his timing back on the major league level. So he's usually dog shit for about a week, and then he gets red hot. But there's no other time that we need Giancarlo Stanton the most than right now. And Giancarlo Stanton has made a career on the New York Yankees as throwing the team on his back when Aaron Judge has been hurt with the toe, with all the injuries that he's had in his career. Stanton has been there to pick up the slack. And if Jazz Chisholm's turning it around and Paul Goldschmidt is turning back the clock and Giancarlo Stanton and Belly keeps playing that MVP level for the Yankees that I know that he can play, playing Gold Glove out of his mind, the guy is amazing this year. If the Yankees can do that, they can learn to live without Aaron Judge. Also, guys, they're going to have to learn to live without Aaron Judge. I think this is the benefit for the rest of the team. So they don't have to sit back and rely for Aaron Judge to bail them out all the time. They're going to have to get up, step up. People on this team are going to have to step up and start producing. And I think pressure is the best thing for this team. Max Fried will be evaluated this week. Remember, we told you right here, New York Minute Sports Show and the New York Nuts. Thank you for becoming a member for $1.99 a month, all you New York Nuts. The New York Nuts told you right here in the comments, complete bullshit with the Max Fried injury. Remember, they told us 15 days? Yeah, he's being evaluated this week. And then, if the evaluation goes well, they can go back to baseball activities. So that means he's not even throwing. That means he's just going to get run, because when these guys go down, their stamina goes down. They got to be ramped back up. Jason Dominguez, good news. First start for the Rail Riders tonight, okay? He's starting in right field, which is great. Make him more versatile. Let him play anywhere in the outfield so we can plug in Jason. He's a switch hitter. He can hit at the top of the lineup. He was playing very well before he got hurt. He's another guy. Hopefully he's not injury prone, bro, because this guy goes down when a cloud passes by and he gets hit by raindrops. So, and I know it's been inopportune. It really hasn't been his fault. The Tommy John wasn't his fault. This wasn't his fault. Crashing into the wall. I mean, I think the circumstances of him trying to make the team and impress people played into the fact he crashed into the wall, because if he was Anthony Volpe or Cody Bellinger on this team, not saying that they wouldn't, but he wouldn't have to put his life and his body on the line to make the team, and that's exactly what he did. But that's why I want Jason Dominguez back in this lineup. He makes the Yankees more of a dynamic team, makes them more dangerous. Trent Grisham, see how effective he was today in the 5 spot? Trent can change his approach to the baseball game and the way that he takes at bats. He swings at the first pitch way too much in the leadoff, and when he's in the 5 spot, I want you to keep an eye on him in the 5 spot. Look it up. Google it. I haven't even looked at the stats. I'm telling you right now from watching every single game, his numbers in the 5 spot are exponentially better than in the leadoff spot. So listen, man, it's not rocket science. If we put guys in the lineup exactly where they belong, then we're not going to have a hard time while Aaron Judge is around. Now, speaking of the lineup, I wanted to get into the lineup because I made my own lineup today. Yes, during the game, I made my own lineup. So this is the official New York Minute Yankees lineup and the way that I think it should be. First, I'm going to preference this by saying I would have Caballero at shortstop. I would put Jazz Chisholm at third base, and I put Volpe at second base. But we don't need to do that for the lineup, but this is the way it's going to go down. Volpe, Rice, Goldie, Bellinger, Caballero, Jazz Chisholm, Trent Grisham, Spencer Jones, Ascara. Then the other variation you can have is Caballero, Rice, Goldie, Belly, Trent in the 5, Volpe, Jazz, Spencer Jones, Ascara. I don't know why this team refuses to put Caballero at the leadoff spot. He is a spark plug. He hits. He gets things going on this team. And what's better than that? The guy can steal 64 bags. Does it make sense that Caballero's like fourth in average and he stole 60 bags last year and you're not putting him in the leadoff spot? I don't understand it. Please let me know in the comments below. What do you think about the lineup? Do you agree with it? Do you think it's dog shit? Let me know. Also, with those lineups, the variable come as you can interchange Rosario at third base as well and then bring McMahon like they did today for defensive replacement past the 7th inning. That's all I would do. I know it's going to, during the regular season, you have to use McMahon, but when postseason breaks out and October comes around, he's going to be a defensive replacement at third base in the 7th inning, which is very good for him. He's got pop. He can play a really good defense. He plays gold glove third base, which is good for all the left-handers on our team. Now, I wanted to look at how the New York Yankees are going to handle Cleveland. They got Cleveland coming up this week. Now, Garrett Cole had his worst performance of the year against Cleveland. I would like to see the rebound. And the reason that I'm worried about this is, did Cleveland get the secret sauce on the New York Yankees, or did their starting pitching just shit the brick? Because the Guardians looked like they had the number of the Yankees pitching, and Garrett Cole looked mediocre at best. So I'm not panicking about Garrett Cole's last start. But if he goes into Cleveland this week, and he replicates the same start he had with no bite on his changeup, relying on the breaking ball too much. I know he's trying to change his approach, but the Cleveland Guardians are the worst team in baseball against the fastball. Go in there. Mass is gas, just like you were saying, Cole. That's why you look like you ate the old version of Garrett Cole before you got hurt. Mass is gas. Let's steamroll them. Let's flamethrow them, okay? So the Boone Swoon, I think that we're up to 2-3 in the month of June now. The Yankees split this series with the postponed game last night. They're going to make that up in August. But go over to New York Minute. That's NEWYRKMIN on Instagram. That's New York Minute Sports. Put it anywhere in that smoke wagon you call the information superhighway, or Google, and you can find me. All the T-shirts you see during the show are made in the USA, just like yours truly. Go over there and check it out. You're going to love the way you look. I guarantee it. Also, have you become a New York nut yet? $1.99 a month, double the show for half the dough, exclusive content, Monday Baseball Show, the New York Nut Show on Wednesday. I'm going to be streaming live, doing play-by-play, and having interactive shows with the New York Nut followers, special stuff for you on there. It's only $1.99 a month. What can you buy for $1.99 a month? Nothing other than the New York Nuts merch. Become a member of a group of like-minded people like everybody else in this place. At least it's only sports. And remember, if you can't be good, be bad, baby. Good night, Canada. Go Knicks. Bye. That's your boy.
So
He said he was...
Goodbye. That's my boy.